What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and breaking news coming out today that President Joe Biden this week is likely going to be issuing a state of emergency due to the falling apart of the Build Back Better bill for climate action. Now, a lot of people are saying, but what about the economy? Over 80% of the U.S. population says the number one concern for the Biden administration at this time should be our economy and providing direct assistance to the American people in the form of more stimulus or trying to figure out something with this inflation. We're on the verge of a recession, record high gas and food prices, supply chain issues. Let me know your thoughts, but I'm going to dive into the latest details. This is your breaking news stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Now, take a look at these headlines that have been coming out, you guys. Would another round of stimulus checks help Americans cope with inflation? This is coming up a lot right now as we're hearing about a recession potentially coming, stimulus checks being the number one top provision to help fight poverty throughout the course of the pandemic, and they're saying the cost at which it would be to send out more checks. It would only add to debt and inflation a small amount, but would help out the American people a ton. Let me know your thoughts, you guys, but right now, as we're approaching these midterm elections, there's a lot of calls for additional checks. Take a look. Gas stimulus checks is currently on the table under consideration right now by the White House. How much is being proposed, and will Americans ever get money? As right now, there's proposals for monthly reoccurring checks, quarterly checks, one-time payments, and a lot of people are saying, what about those $2,000 fourth federal level checks that we had heard about when the Biden administration had been running their campaign for their presidency over a year ago? Well, you guys, we will see. I'm going to keep you up to date, and if you missed my last video on it, be sure to check it out as I give you all the details as to where things currently stand for a fourth federal level stimulus check. And I'm also keeping you up to date on state, city, and county checks this month, planning to release that comprehensive list of all the checks available so you don't miss out, because we're hearing a lot of people are missing out on these different local entity checks. I want to make sure that you don't miss out on anything, and it's all in one place, easy for you to access, so you're not aimlessly wandering around trying to find the information. But you guys, what we're hearing is just today, President Joe Biden has said that he's likely going to be issuing a state of an emergency for the climate and the climate provisions that have been removed from the Build Back Better bill. Now, let me know your thoughts. I'm going to give you all the details. Take a look at the headlines. Biden could declare climate emergency as soon as this week, sources say. Biden considers declaring climate emergency as agenda stalls in Congress, and this is all due to things falling apart with Joe Manchin with a revised Build Back Better bill. Now, I let you know, though, that we heard from Senator Joe Manchin, who said, "You're blowing my words out of proportion. I did not say negotiations are over. I just said I want to see a little bit more about inflation. Let's wait till August, and then we're going to see and go from there on certain provisions." Now, Democrats are starting to lose faith with Senator Joe Manchin, as we heard President Joe Biden. If you missed my video, check it out. Say, executive actions. Get ready. It's time for me to step in, bypass Congress, and get things done, because they're concerned that Joe Manchin might just be toying with them. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think he's serious about these negotiations, or is he just stringing them along? But these negotiations for Build Back Better have been going on for quite some time now. Now, let me know your thoughts, you guys, but regardless, I'll keep you up to date as to whether or not they're going to be passing some form of legislation for stimulus provisions, climate provisions. We've heard an assortment of different things that they wanted included that have all been stripped out. And we're hearing that whatever passes, that's great. But whatever doesn't pass, President Biden is getting ready for executive orders right before these midterm elections. Now, I'm going to keep you up to date, but let's dive into the breaking news coming out as he's saying we're going to be entering into a state of an emergency to try to get something done for the climate. But a lot of people are saying, what about the economy? So let's dive right in. But before we do me a quick favor. If you appreciate the content, don't forget, smash that like button for me. Just takes a second. Helps out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments. Share this out. If you want to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not? Come join the Ram fam. All you got to do is very quickly hit that subscribe button. Turn on that notification bell. Any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. And consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. More content coming on there to help you navigate this turbulent economic environment that we're currently in. Make sure that you get some helpful information there as well. If you're interested, I'll pin a comment down below, click the link, go subscribe, turn on notifications. But with that being said, you guys, let's dive into the articles coming out right now today about a potential declaration of emergency for the climate that President Joe Biden could be making here very soon. All right, so take a look at this. This is a live feed, just came out 41 minutes ago and updated 9 minutes ago, and it says Biden considers declaring climate emergency as agenda stalls in Congress. This coming out today, the breaking news. Take a look. Declaring a national climate emergency, as the Washington Post reports that Biden is considering it in a response to the apparent demise of his efforts to get measures cutting America's climate emissions approved by Congress. This would certainly generate headlines, but what exactly would it do? Now, this is all in response to things falling apart with the Build Back Better bill, as they're saying it's pretty much going to be over. Biden is considering executive actions, but we're still hearing Joe Manchin say, no, talks aren't over. I just want a little bit more time. But it looks like the Biden administration, they're not buying it, getting ready for executive actions and declaring state of emergency. Take a look. It is unclear how exactly Biden plans to proceed if he opts to declare a climate emergency, which Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer actually urged him to do just days after he took office as the president last year. Now, some climate activists have urged the White House in recent months to deploy an emergency declaration to maximum effect, arguing that it would allow the president to halt crude oil exports, limit oil and gas drilling in federal waters, and direct agencies, including the Federal Emergency Management Agency, to boost renewable energy sources, which is very interesting right now when we are having a major issue with oil and gas right now. What would this do to gas prices? Very interesting to hear this, you guys. As we're hearing, they're trying to bring prices down, but in October, we're hearing they could go up even higher, break new records. And what would this do, this state of emergency? Reading on, it says, the sad truth is that America is behind where it needs to be when it comes to keeping the planet from experiencing the worst effects of rising temperatures. And even if Biden had gotten his Build Back Better plan through Congress, it wouldn't have been enough, as the below story from last October makes it clear. Take a look, you guys. The Build Back Better plan will put America on track to meet its goals, but it must not be the only action that Congress takes to combat the climate crisis, said Congresswoman Kathy Castor, a Florida Democrat and chair of the House Select Committee on the Climate crisis. More federal action is needed to meet the scale of the emergency, she said. Even if we pass the Build Back Better Act as it is, that doesn't get us to net zero by 2050, which is the goal, she said in an interview, pointing to the latest climate research and a report by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change that declared a code red for humanity. She added, we are going to have to do more. Build Back Better is now dead, and it's unclear if the executive actions that Biden says that he will now resort to will allow anywhere near the effect as the unrealized proposal to curb the climate change. So let me know your thoughts, you guys. This article is saying that Build Back Better is over. Joe Manchin is saying it is not, but we're hearing that Biden is saying get ready for executive actions because we're in a state of emergency for our climate. But a lot of people are also saying, what about our economy? Let me know your thoughts, you guys. Which one takes precedent here? The climate actions or the economic actions that people are asking for? Now, regardless of whatever unfolds, I will keep you up to date, but we're hearing that all of these are going to be coming up here right before the midterm elections, and we're hearing that a lot of these are going to be sparking executive actions. There's a laundry list, a dominoes effect is going to be unfolding. Now, the first of which we have heard would be wiping out student loan debt through executive action, but that we're all waiting on to see if there's going to be legislation passed, because before Biden does executive actions, he wants to make sure that it is the last resort. He is pushing to get things through Congress through the traditional means of legislation. He'd like to see bipartisan support, but if he can't see that, the process of reconciliation can pass it through with a majority vote. But if he can't do that, he wants the last-ditch effort to be executive action. So we're hearing they're getting it all lined up ready. We will see. I'll let you know here on the channel. But you guys, that is the latest. I will keep you up to date as more information unfolds. Thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget to take a quick second. If you appreciate the content, smash the like button. Helps me out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. I'll let you know more as it unfolds. Also, if you want to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not come join the Ram fam? All you got to do is very quickly hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. Any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. Consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. Keep an eye out for that comprehensive list of all checks on all levels. If you missed my last video, check it out. I let you know about checks going out this week. And as they come out, I'll be sure to let you know, and I will have them all included in that comprehensive list so you have one location easily able to access and find out about money available to you. But with that being said, you guys, once again, thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.